crazy adventure. But with that out of the way, it's getting late here. It's about 5:30 p.m. and I still need to hit the road and find a place to camp for the night. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Oh my gosh, so I just had to pull over on the side of the road because there is a freaking, what I think is a grizzly bear just right off the side of the road here. It could be a brown bear, I'm not sure, but this is crazy. So it looks like he's snacking on dandelions on the ground, which is kind of cute. But I'm actually kind of stunned by how not bothered he is by me and my van off the side of the road here. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful, beautiful creature. Why do they have to be so deadly? They're so cute. Okay, bye, Mr. Bear. You're cute. Enjoy those dandelions. So I made it to the town of Jasper here in Alberta, and I actually drove way longer than I was expecting to today. This is actually the nearest town to where I was camping at, which is about a 2.5 hour drive. I gotta find a place to camp for the night still, but I'm starving, so I figured I'd pull off into this town, check it out a little bit, grab a quick bite to eat before I try to find a place to sleep. Unfortunately, this town sits in the Jasper National Park limits, which means I'm not able to stealth camp here in town as much as I would like to tonight, because believe it or not, boondocking or stealth camping in the national park limits here in Canada is illegal, and if you get caught doing it, you can get fined up to $25,000. Yikes. Hi, just one?
So we can start the buffet when we're ready. I'll make water.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so I found this all-you-can-eat Indian buffet restaurant here in Jasper, and I immediately was like, yep, this is what I'm eating tonight, because as you guys know from my last video, Canada has really good Indian restaurants here, and all-you-can-eat, count me in. I got a little bit of everything, so I'm about to chow down. Cheers. Oh yeah, this was a good choice. Thank you, have a good one. Oh man, that was so freaking good. Wow, that hit the spot, guys. All right, now that I'm nice and topped off in the belly department, let's find out where we're sleeping for the night. Okay, let's look at my handy dandy app here and see what kind of options we have around us for some free places to sleep for the night. All right, so it looks like there is a rest stop that I could stay at. It's just outside of the national park limits. However, gosh, it's still a 40-minute drive, so let's hit the road. Well, folks, this is home for the night. Nothing crazy, nothing special. Just a small little rest stop right outside of Jasper National Park. So we're free to stay here overnight for at least one night before we head off to the next destination in the morning. Also, look at what time it is right now. It is 10:50 p.m. and it is still light outside somewhat. That just goes to show that we are getting further and further north, and the more north we go, the longer the daylight hours will be, which is so crazy. It's almost 11 p.m. and there's still light in the sky. That's wild. But I think since it's so late now, I'm just gonna play with Millie in this grassy area for a bit, let her get some energy out, and then I think we're gonna head off to bed because I'm tired. Oh, give me that toy. Give me that toy. All right, everyone. Today was a fantastic day, but I am beat. So I'm gonna get some sleep and I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, Millie. Well, good morning, everyone. I slept great here in this rest stop parking lot, but this is definitely not one of those places that I want to stay at for too long. So I want to get up and get out of here and head off to the next place, wherever that may be. And unfortunately, I think this is the end of my exploration of the national parks here in Alberta. From here, I'm gonna head north and start making my way towards the Alaskan Highway. But I'm sure we'll make a few stops before we get there. Hey, I have a question. So there's a water spigot on the side of the building. Can I use that to fill up on water in my van?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. So I needed to stop and get gas before I do my long drive today, and usually when I stop and get gas, I always do a perimeter search of the building to see if there's a water spigot on the side of the building that I could use to fill up my water in my van. And thankfully, this one has one. And anytime I do this, I always go inside and just ask and make sure it's okay to use their water to fill up my tank, because I'm filling up 40 gallons, which is a lot. But they said yes, so we're good. Also, this water I only use for showering and washing my dishes. I don't drink it or anything. But I saw that there was a natural spring down here somewhere, and maybe if we find it, we can fill up on some drinking water, which would be really nice. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, heck yeah. All right, filling up some fresh spring water here for my drinking water in the van. So for my drinking water, I store all of it in a 6-gallon tank, which I store up under my sink. And then this 2.5 gallon stays in my fridge. So I have about 8.5 gallons of drinking water to get me through about a week or so. Wow, that's good. Some ice cold, fresh spring water hits so different. Whew. All right, Millie, let's load up. Come on. Good girl. Well, I only drove about an hour today because I was thinking to myself, between the helicopter tour yesterday and all the driving, Millie's been pretty cooped up, and I wanted to find a place that was nice and open for her to roam freely. However, this wind is pretty gnarly. But regardless, this is a pretty good spot. It's nice and open, clear skies for Starlink, and it's public land, so I can stay here for up to 14 days if I want to. And I think there's a river down this way that I want to go check out. Oh wow, I like this area so much better than where I'm parked at up this road here. We got some good tree coverage if I want it. There's a nice big fire pit right here and a clear open spot for me to park right next to this river. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and pull my van down here. The only problem is the road to get here is pretty gnarly and my van's only 2-wheel drive, so I may or may not be able to make it over here, but I'm gonna try. Okay, that road wasn't nearly as bad as I was expecting, but this spot is so much better than that spot up the road there. It's got everything that I need. And I would love to make a nice cozy fire in this big fire pit here, but I don't think this crazy wind is gonna let us. But who knows, maybe it'll let up by the end of the day. All right, folks, it is dinner time, and right now I am whipping up some rice to pair with some roasted veggies and some sausage, and it's cooking up in the oven right now, and it is smelling so good in the van right now. Woo. Let's see how they're doing. Oh yeah, it's looking great, but definitely needs some more time. But it is turning out to be such a beautiful evening. We've got the golden sun peeking through these trees over here, just illuminating my van. Woo. It is smelling like a 5-star restaurant out here. Oh, I cannot wait to eat. I'm starving. Okay, yeah, those are done. Oh, this looks so good. All right, dinner is served, and I cannot wait to chow down on this. This looks so good. All right, I figured I'd have dinner tonight around my imaginary fire right here. I'm just imagining a nice roaring, warm, toasty fire warming me up. And believe it or not, it's working. Now, you guys are probably thinking I'm being a little dramatic about the whole wind situation because it feels really calm right now, but every now and then a very strong gust of wind comes through and rocks the van around, and I am absolutely terrified of accidentally starting a forest fire, so any amount of wind like that, I just don't want to risk it. I can use my imagination. Plus with the sound effects, you'll never even know I don't actually have a fire. That's movie magic, baby. Boom. Leftovers for lunch tomorrow. All right, my belly's full and the van is all cleaned up, so I booted up my gaming laptop here because I've realized that between all of the driving, the traveling, and me just being in work mode trying to catch up on all my videos for the series that I'm doing here, that I really haven't made time for myself to just like chill out, sit around, and play games in the van. It's actually been like weeks since I've just sat around and played a video game, which is crazy to me. So my friend posted about this game the other day called Valheim, which actually seems like a really cool game that I'd be super into. And I logged on a couple times when it first released, but I didn't really put too much time into it, so I never really got into it. But I figured, you know what? Let's try something new here tonight. Seems like a really cool game. So yeah, I think for the rest of the night, I'm gonna sit around in the van, hang out, play some video games, and just chill. And by the way, if you're wondering where Millie's at, she got up on the bed and made herself a little nook. Here, there you go. She loves to sleep under the covers. It's super cute. Man, it's been a great past couple of days. Even though we didn't really cover much distance these past couple of days, we still experienced a lot and did so many things and had so much fun. And hopefully you guys had just as much fun as Millie and I. And if you did, let me know by commenting down below what your favorite part of this video was. Let me know and I'll try to reply to as many of you guys as I can when this video launches. But if this is your first time here, I'm Trent and I'm currently making my way up from the lower 48 of the United States through Canada to get to Alaska. And if you want to catch up on all the fun things that we've done so far on this adventure, I'll leave a link to my playlist of this journey right here so you can catch up on all my videos and watch future videos that I've released. But if you're all caught up on all my videos and you want to support me further than just a like button here on YouTube, consider supporting me on Patreon, where you can unlock 30 plus extra videos that you have not seen yet of my van life adventures. And you'll also get your name in the credits of all my videos, like these lovely folks right here. But thank you so much for watching this video all the way till the end. It's been a pleasure having you guys along for the ride here. But until next time, guys, I will see you all in the next video.
Here's what it's really like sleeping at a truck stop off the highway. We drove 10 hours today and needed a quick place to sleep for the night. We arrived around 10 p.m. and went for a quick walk around the
Hi everyone, my name is Trent and I live and travel out of my van all across North America, and as of May of 2024, I have officially been living like this for 5 years now. I don't own a house, I don't rent a house, I don't rent an apartment. Everything that I own fits in the back of my van and I truly live on the road. But before I set out on this crazy adventure in early 2019, I was going through a really tough time in my life, just feeling like my life lacked a lot of purpose and meaning. I just felt clueless on where to go next with my life. I found myself often asking for answers and wondering, what's next for me? Well, one morning I woke up with this overwhelming sense and urge to just get up and go, to leave everything that I have behind, step out of my comfort zone, and just go explore the world while I still can. It truly felt like this nudge from God. So I listened. And over the course of the next few months, with the help of my brother and a little bit from my dad, we converted an old beat-up van that I bought on Craigslist into a camper van, and I hit the road with no real plan or direction in mind. I just drove because I just felt like there was something out there for me to discover, and I was determined to figure out what that was. I was scared, I was lonely, I had no idea what to expect, but for some reason, it felt right. It felt like things were falling into place exactly how they were supposed to. as if something was guiding me to all these places, showing me these different things for a very specific reason. And through these years of traveling through all of the lower 48 of the United States and even down into Baja, Mexico a little bit, I have learned so much about myself and the world around me. It's opened my mind and my heart, and I feel like I've grown and changed so much as a person since then. It's been such a magical experience that here I am, still living that very same adventure that I set out on 5 years ago. However, living like this didn't solve all of my problems. Like any lifestyle, this lifestyle comes with its own pros and cons, and I have my ups and downs all the time. But after losing my father this past summer, it shattered my world. And I felt myself falling into that very same dark headspace that I experienced just years ago. My dad is the entire reason why I picked up a camera in the first place. He's the entire reason why my love for the outdoors and traveling and experiencing the world exists. And losing him was something I could have never prepared myself for, both mentally and emotionally. And that shock in my life got me considering leaving this lifestyle behind so I could spend more time with my family, or even try and start a family of my own, because I feel like that's a part of my life that I have really missed out on these past 5 years, because I am hundreds of miles from loved ones all the time. And since the loss of my dad, I found myself asking for answers all the time, wondering what's next for me? Has my purpose in this phase of my life been fulfilled? Am I ready for what's next for me? All questions that I have been asking every single day. But I kept going, moving forward, waiting for answers, trusting the process, until one day I was camping in a forest in New Mexico with some friends. And I woke up one morning with this very familiar feeling. It was this overwhelming sense and urge to just get up and go, as if something was waiting for me. But this time, it was in a certain direction. Something was telling me it's time for me to go on one more big adventure. It's time for me to drive to Alaska. Which is an adventure I've been wanting to go on for so long, but it just hasn't felt right yet. It's a really, really far drive down long, desolate roads through a foreign country, and overall it just sounded like a really intimidating thing for me to commit to and do by myself. But for whatever reason, that morning it felt right more than ever. So I said my goodbyes to my friends and I hit the road. Starting from basically the border of Mexico, I traversed through New Mexico, Utah, Idaho, and now here I am in the beautiful state of Montana, just 3 hours from the border of Canada. And over these next couple of months, I will be documenting and sharing my travels and adventures down the Alaskan Highway, which is this long, barren highway that connects the lower 48 of the United States to Alaska through Canada. And I will be spending a couple months in Alaska adventuring around. And this is going to be such a long and interesting drive full of ups and downs, beautiful views, and incredible experiences that you're not going to want to miss out on. So make sure you're subscribed. And today officially marks the first day of this incredible adventure that we're about to go on together. But because we're still a couple miles away from the Canadian border, we've got to hit the road, because today I've got a lot of miles to cover. So without further ado, let's do this. Great, thank you so much. We did it! We're in Canada! Oh, shoot! Ah! Well, this is home for the night. I drove for several hours today and ended up at this beautiful truck stop here right outside of Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada. And this might be the most beautiful truck stop I have ever been to in my entire life. These mountains back here are just insane. But I decided to stop here and sleep in this parking lot tonight because there are a few things that I need to take care of before I start camping on public lands here in Canada. In the United States, we have something called BLM land, which is basically public land that we all have access to. We can go camp on for up to 14 days at a time, I believe, before we have to move to the next spot. And Canada has something similar called Crown land. However, Alberta is a little different, and you can't just camp on it for free. You actually have to purchase a pass. And I believe it's $20 for 3 days and $30 for a year. So I need to purchase that, and tomorrow I want to go into Banff National Park, which is super beautiful. I'm really excited about it, but I also need to purchase a park pass for that before we go exploring in there. But because I've been driving for several hours today and my adrenaline was way up here and now I'm finally crashing, I figured sleeping at a truck stop might be a good idea because then I can get some rest, wake up early in the morning, hit the park, and then try and find a really beautiful spot to stay at for a couple of days. But to be honest, I mean, I'd be happy staying here for a week because these views are just insane. Give it to me. Oh, you're so strong. You're so strong. Oh. Good girl. I love you. Watch out. All right, guys, it's getting late and I'm exhausted from all that driving today. So we're gonna go to bed and we'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Last night I slept really well here in this truck stop parking lot. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that I'm used to it. Maybe it's the generators that are going all night. The low hum just kind of puts me into this deep slumber. I don't know, but I feel well rested for the day, ready for what's on the agenda. And what's on the agenda, you might be asking? I have no idea. Because as I was doing some research last night on Banff National Park, I quickly realized that I'm actually here pretty early in the season still. And by that I mean a lot of the trails and a lot of the places that I want to go to are still closed because of the ice and snow that are on the mountains out here. As you can tell, it's actually still pretty cold here, even though it's late May. But that's not going to prevent me from having any fun. I'm still going to hit the national park and we're going to figure it out as we go. I bought a national park pass for a whole year and that gives me access to pretty much all the national parks here, so I'm going to have some fun regardless. But first, I think I'm going to hit this Tim Hortons here that's a part of this truck stop for some quick coffee and maybe a little baked good if they have anything. And then from there, we'll head into Banff and figure it out as we go. Hi, could I do a small vanilla cream cold brew and a chocolate croissant?
Chocolate croissant. That's it?
That's it.
All right.
Oh, that was quick. Thank you. Oh, that's good. By the way, if you guys don't know what Tim Hortons is, it's basically Canada's Dunkin' Donuts, but significantly better. It's really good. So our first little excursion here in Banff National Park is to visit Lake Louise, which is this beautiful lake surrounded by snow-capped mountains, and I'm really excited about it. And that's mainly because Millie's allowed to come. One of my favorite things about Canada is the fact that they allow dogs in their national parks, which is something that the States does not allow. There's only like a few, like 3 or 4 national parks in the States that allow dogs, and that's prevented me from seeing a good portion of the national parks in the States, which is unfortunate. All right, so here we are at beautiful Lake Louise here in Banff National Park. Super pristine, and we've got it all to ourselves. Just kidding, there's like a gajillion people here. But of course that's to be expected from a beautiful place that you can just basically drive up to. The parking lot is just right over there. And normally this lake is a very pretty blue color, and it's crystal clear. And of course it is very frozen over right now because it's still early in the season. But this place is beautiful with the mountains off in the distance there. In the summertime you can actually rent kayaks and kayak onto the lake, which is really cool. I was hoping to do it, but of course the lake is still frozen over, so that's not possible. Excuse me, would you take a picture of me for me? Good job. Sit, sit.
Okay, see how we do.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, so I decided to hike up this mountain right next to Lake Louise that leads up to this other lake called Lake Agnes, which is another beautiful lake that sits atop some mountains up here. And because this trail is a little snowy and icy, I'm predicting that there'll be a little less people there because who wants to hike on this, you know? But I don't know, we'll see. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. Woo. Oh, this is great. All right, we made it to beautiful Lake Agnes, which of course is frozen over, but it's surrounded by these beautiful mountains and accompanied by this really cool tea house. And of course, because it's snowy and icy up here, it's not open right now, but in the summertime, you can hike up here, grab some tea, grab some food, and it tastes so good. And the crazy thing about this tea house is the fact that there's no roads to get up here. So everything that they serve here, the tea, the food, all has to be hiked in from the same trail that we hiked up in today, which is crazy. Okay, drink up. That was a great hike. A lot more snowy than I expected, but it's beautiful. Now it's time for some snacks, and I just got some leftover beef sticks that I bought on the road here and some granola. Come here. I'm just so thankful to be able to experience beautiful places like this. Views like this just make you feel so many things. It's hard for my brain to process how massive these mountains are and how small and tiny I am. It really just starts to put things into perspective for you. All right, Millie, you ready to go? All right, let's do it. Hello. Can I get a large classic poutine? Wow. Thank you. After that hike, I realized how hungry I was. All I ate today was a chocolate croissant, some beef sticks, and granola. So I am ready to feast. So I headed back into the town of Banff, and I figured, since it's my first real day here in Canada, I would eat a classic Canadian dish, which is poutine. And if you don't know what poutine is, basically it's just fries, cheese curds, and gravy. That's it. But it is so good. I had poutine for the first time last year, and I fell in love. And I've been dreaming about it ever since. This is magical. Appreciate it, thank you. So something I love about this town is the fact that they close off the main street. Only buses can come through here, but it's primarily used for pedestrians. But there's so many cool shops and great food along this street here. But man, that poutine was freaking delicious. However, my sweet tooth is just screaming right now. Hello. Awesome, thank you. This, my friends, is called a beaver tail. It's a Canadian pastry, basically. It's fried dough with some Nutella on it and powdered sugar, and it is so good. Oh my gosh. Again, super simple, but so delicious. I certainly didn't need this, but I wanted it. I am stuffed. But boy, was that delicious. I definitely didn't eat very healthy today, but I definitely ate really good, that's for sure. But unfortunately, it is getting dark here soon, and I still need to find a place to sleep for the night. And I've got a place in mind, however, it's about an hour drive away from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the road and try and get there before dark. This is home sweet home for the night, folks. Right on this beautiful blue river. That is ice cold, oh my gosh. But this is a really neat spot. I found it on iOverlander. There's several other RVs and vans parked along this river here, but I'm probably gonna call this place home for a couple days while I just relax, because this spot is awesome. I just feel so alive today. And I just hope it's translating through the screen over to you guys. This is just a beautiful, beautiful country, and we are only at the base of it all. I still have at least a 50-hour drive up to Alaska, and from Alaska is a huge state. There's just so much to explore there. I just can't wait for all the new experiences and the new people and the new things that I'm gonna see. I'm just excited and high on life right now. But with that being said, folks, I think I'm gonna end today's video right here. I think this is a great conclusion to our first day on this adventure, and hopefully you guys had just as much fun as I did. But the great thing is, if you didn't have fun in this video, you're bound to have fun in the next one, because there's gonna be a lot more where this came from, because we've got a big adventure ahead of us. So make sure you guys are subscribed, have that notification bell turned on so you get notified whenever I post next, so you don't miss out on this epic journey. And if you want to get access to additional videos that you won't find here on YouTube, consider supporting me and Millie on Patreon, where you'll get access to 30 plus extra videos that you haven't seen yet, plus future videos that we're going to release. And you'll get your name in the credits of all my videos, just like these lovely folks right here. And of course, by doing so, you'll be supporting me and Millie's adventures through Canada to Alaska and wherever else we decide to go, which of course will be greatly appreciated. But this officially concludes episode 1 of our great Alaskan adventure. Thank you guys for following along. It's been a pleasure having you. But until next time, Millie and I are gonna get some rest, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye.